Welcome back to the late night format here on WESU Middletown. I recommend you check out the video feed for a hilarious, hilarious blooper. Anyway, I'm your special guest co-host, Jack Spira, here in the studio with your host, the beautiful Slepack. And lucky you've tuned in just in time for our discussion about movies? We're not actually
well, sort of. As big movie fans of the late night format, we thought we'd start an Audible movie club where we'll share and discuss some movies, and you'll be like, what's a movie? Is it those 6-second videos of people feeding pictures of Ryan Gosling's cereal?
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. But actually, we're not going to talk about movies today. I just wanted you to know what we usually do here. But what we're actually going to do today is Jack and I are actually pretty big fans of comics and graphic novels.
Strong lead-in. You discuss something that you're not doing at all. That's how you get them. You get them. You think they're going left, but then you go right. And they're like, what? But they're not doing that at all. They're just listening to the radio.
Exactly. So we're going to talk about comics because we're nerds.
Okay.
I've read a lot of graphic novels this year.
Okay, so
This summer.
so
I read like 30.
wow, that's more books than I've ever seen in my life.
That's why we go to a top-tier university to not see books.
You know, one time, all right, I don't want to get too real here, because as we know, this is not real talk with Jack Spira. But you know, I don't say that nearly as much as I used to. I used to say real talk all the time. Anyway, I feel like we may have gotten off track.
Just a little.
I am, as most people know, not literate. That's why I perform on the radio. I'm also terrible with technology.
That was Jack.
Yeah, you see the way I took that bullet for you there? See the way I was going to take that straight for you? See, honestly, if I knew how to read, I might be better at things like this. Yeah, we probably should have turned that off. So, I'd say, my favorite current long-running comic book is, as has been discussed with many people, Saga.
Woo! I finished it, by the way. I literally sat on the floor of a Barnes & Noble and finished it.
Really?
Yes. I made my sister read a graphic novel for the first time, too.
Wow, you have a sister?
We know each other so well.
Oh, and I didn't know you had a sister. Do you really? I also just found out, I remember the same thing happened when I found out that our mutual friend Daniel Pope has, 3 sisters. Did not know that for a year and a half. Anyway.
That's cool. Let's isolate the audience more.
Okay, so you're alone in a deep, dark room. I think that...
That was really funny.
Thanks. Alright, so Saga is my favorite current long-running comic book. I've read a couple of the recent Marvel stuff. You know what I just recently read, Adi?
What did you just recently
I recently
read?
just read Guardians of the Galaxy, which, as most people don't know, recently was made into a film. What did you think about that film, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Why
which has
would
just
you
been
do
made
this
into
to
a
me?
film? I have been planning this for 2 hours.
No?
Well, an hour, but I feel like 2 hours is a much more dramatic time than 1 hour.
Okay, so we were going to talk about summer movies, and then we decided not to because I knew he would bring up Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm about to lose a lot of friends now. This super sucks.
Does it? You want to instead talk about the comic book Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Tell
first,
me
what
about
was your
that.
opinion on the film Guardians of the Galaxy? See the way I cut left and then I cut back right, and you were like, "Oh, he's going left." No, he was going right.
I didn't
And this
like
matters for us because
Guardians
we're
of
not
the
a word.
Galaxy. I thought it was an awful film.
You thought it was awful?
I did not enjoy it in the least bit. I can totally appreciate films that aren't ooh, film. Films that you can call movies. I love movies. But
Tell me more about how you like movies.
But Guardians of the Galaxy was very weak in terms of story and plot and lots of things, so I didn't like it, and it wasn't enough for me. I'm sorry. I also had super high expectations, so maybe that was part of it, but can we move on now?
I don't think we can. Yeah, we can. So, have you actually ever read the comic book Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, I have not. I've not read anything Marvel.
Really?
Yeah,
Image is so good. I know you read a lot of Image, right?
I started reading some Image comics, but I started delving into I read Blankets over the summer.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know those had words on it.
Amazing. Oh my god.
With this literal humor.
Why? Why are you doing this to me?
I have not read Blankets. What's it about?
It's beautiful. Oh my
Really?
gosh, it's so wonderful.
I have this little blue one at home. See, you thought I moved off, but I didn't.
Do you want to just do this by yourself? Tell us about Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to leave.
Okay.
Footsteps.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Jack Spira, my babies. Them callback jokes. I
We
keep
literally
them
have
coming
4
all
minutes.
night.
Less than 4 minutes now to talk about comics.
Do we?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we've been pretty successful so far.
Okay, what is the best comic you've read in the past 6 months? Excluding Saga, which you already mentioned. Or what do you like about Saga? Everything.
I am going to I'll talk briefly about Saga, and then I'll move on.
Okay.
To a couple other really good comic books I want to talk about. Because actually, I want to talk about comic book stores, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I recently got into this comic book store up in Berkeley. I was dating this girl in Berkeley. So like I drove up there every once in a while. And but due to the timing in which I would date her, I would be there for the day new comic books came out.
Oh, cool.
So I would see like them stock their shelves, and it was like this local hole-in-the-wall comic book shop. And there was basically a 600-pound man. That's way too much. Like 300-pound man. But he was like 5'2", so this is impressive. Impressive. And he had a small cat that he kept with him at all times. This sounds like I'm making this up, but the truth is I'm only making up the cat and his weight. But beyond that, most of the story is true. And he ran the comic book shop from behind a counter. Would you believe that? I got lost halfway through that story. Anyway, I just want to talk about how most stores now are becoming like more and more monopolized and whatever, right? You see a store, there's a million kinds of that store, right? Like there's like that famous Andy Warhol statement, a Coke is a Coke, no Coke is worse than any other Coke, no Coke is better than any other Coke, they're just all Cokes.
Okay.
No comic book shop is like that.
That's awesome.
They're wonderfully diverse and weird and beautiful. The only, like, the biggest brand comic book store I go to is Golden Apple Comic Books in Los Angeles.
Have you ever been to the Meltdown?
Yeah.
Or no, is that the name of the store, or is that only the theater in the back? Meltdown Comics has a theater in the back.
There's a...
Yeah,
Really?
They do a show on Comedy Central that are called The Meltdown with Jonah and Kumail. It's pretty great.
Really?
Yeah, that's like, it's Nerdist's thing. It's Chris Hardwick.
You know, I need to get more into the Nerdist. Because we're having a conversation on radio, which, as everybody knows, is essentially only useful just in case the apocalypse happens. And also, you're going to rebel against, like, the, like, establishment and run away and become an author in France. That's what happens if you read Persepolis.
Cool. So, we're out of time now.
Are we?
Yep. And we're legally required to take a commercial break. But we'll be right back with a rousing game of 2 truths and a lie.
Should I start coming up with lies?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think half of the things you've said so far has been a lie, so this is going to be just
There's like
horrible
so much less than half. There's like almost everything I've said has been a lie. My name isn't even Jack Spira, it's Mitchell Stone. That's the weird thing.
What? No. Okay, we're actually going to go now for like a minute and a half.
Okay, bye guys.
Maybe less.
I'm Mitchell Stone, signing off.
Okay, bye.